Golden Radio Hour.
Hey, Abbott, what time is it?
It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air for ABC here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
Yes, it's the Abbott and Costello Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood for your listening and laughing pleasure. Chuckles with a carload and music by Matty Malnick. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Well, it's about time you got here. Where were you?
Well, Abbott, I met all the crown heads of Hollywood today.
Costello, there are no crown heads in Hollywood.
Abbott, you never walked through a picket line, have you?
Stop this nonsense and tell me where you've been.
Well, I was helping my Uncle Mike with his new invention. He's invented a plane that goes 5,000 miles an hour and goes to London in 5 minutes.
Wait a minute. If it goes 5,000 miles an hour and goes to London in 5 minutes, how does it stop?
Let London get a guy to work on that.
Costello, your Uncle Mike is as big a dope as you are.
Oh, yeah? Well,
Yeah.
my Uncle Mike is a smart man, Abbott. For 10 years, he ran the Chase National Bank for the investors.
He did?
Yes, sir. And for the next 10 years, investors ran a national chase for Uncle Mike.
Has Uncle Mike ever been in jail, Lou?
Yes, one time he got so full of Christmas spirit that they threw him in jail for singing Christmas carols.
Well, lots of people sing Christmas carols.
On the 4th of July?
I...
Poor Uncle Mike, he's in a hospital. He's got a mule on his nose.
Not a mule. You mean a mole?
No, not after the mule kicked him in the kisser. He's got a mule there.
All right. Costello, what keeps you from being the biggest idiot in the world?
I guess I'm too fat for my height.
Oh, get him out of here. Come out here. Where have you been?
I was across the street having a beef stew.
Well, how was it?
Terrible. It had nothing in it but beef tongue and oxtails.
Well, what's wrong with beef tongues and oxtail?
Nothing. But who's getting all that stuff in between?
Look, hey, Lou, why don't you come over to my house for dinner? We always have a crowd. My wife's dinners are talk of the town, and they're always informal.
What do you mean informal?
Well, we don't dress for our dinners.
No wonder they're the talk of the town.
Well, one thing, there's always plenty of meat at our house.
Last time I was there, your wife gave me rabbit stew, and the next day when I came over, your cat was missing.
Just a minute. Are you trying to insinuate that my wife served you cat meat?
All I know is every time I met a dog on the street, my back arches.
My wife is a very particular cook. Her kitchen is immaculate. That's more than I can say about your Aunt May. Her kitchen is a disgrace. Her sink is filled with eggshells. The drawers in her kitchen cabinet are full of carrot tops and wilted lettuce. She's sloppy.
She is not. That's her hobby.
No.
She collects garbage. You know, garbage is the same as antiques.
Garbage is the same as antiques.
Certainly, it's a collector's item, ain't it?
Costello, you must study to be an ignoramus. You couldn't be any dumber if you were twins.
Oh, yes, I could. If I was twins, there'd be two of us, and we could help each other.
Costello, I don't know why I associate with you. I'm a college man, a fraternity man. See this? Phi Beta Kappa.
Ha-ha. Look at this.
What's that?
Half a can of tuna.
Get That trouble is, you're illiterate. You spend your spare time... Why don't you spend your spare time reading, Lou? Trying to improve your mind. Take me. I read a lot. There's nothing to improve your thinking like a bookcase well stacked.
Abbott, when I think of something well stacked, I ain't thinking of a bookcase.
Costello man would have to go a long way to meet a dope as stupid as you.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. I'm willing to travel.
The trouble with you is that you're an ignoramus. Do you know what an ignoramus is?
Sure, and I like his partner, too.
His partner?
Ain't you ever heard of Ignoramus and Andy?
No. That's a sample of your mentality. Costello, you ought to see a psychiatrist.
I went to one last week. He told me I got a split personality. I'm really two people, Abbott.
You've got enough personality to split with 10 people.
Just a minute. Don't laugh. Show me where it says that in the script.
Never mind.
Now, watch out, Abbott. You're getting me mad. I can hardly hold my temper in.
It's kind of silly for you to hold your temper in when the rest of you is spread out all over the place.
Are we both on the same page?
I don't know where... Certainly we are. The trouble with you is you can't read. You never went to school.
I just saw. I went to Colt Hill High School in Paterson, New Jersey.
Well, wait a minute. When did you go to high school?
September 11th, 1935.
You mean you only went one day?
You mean you're supposed to go back?
No wonder you're so stupid.
I can't help it, Abbott. I led a very sad life. When I was a kid, my father used to beat me over the head with a baseball bat. My mother used to beat me over the head with a baseball bat. My brother Pat used to hit me over the head with a baseball bat. My Uncle Mike used to hit me over the head with a baseball bat. My Uncle Jimmy Kelly used to hit me over the head with a baseball bat.
Wait a minute,
my Uncle Tom Zismus used to hit me over the head with a baseball bat.
My goodness.
Everybody hit me over the head with a baseball bat.
That's terrible. That was a terrible family.
Yeah, but what a baseball team we had.
You must have been a pretty tough kid to stand all that abuse.
I was a pretty tough kid, Abbott. I belonged to the toughest gang in Paterson. We were so tough that when we walked down Main Street and Market Street, even the sewers backed up.
Did any of your old gang become successful, Lou?
Oh, yes, they did. Did you ever hear of Joe Bozzo?
Yes.
He went into business. He's making money hand over fist.
No, you mean hand over fist.
He's in a tire business, and in that business, it's hand over fist.
Lou, I remember Bozzo. You know, I seem to remember him. Wasn't he the kid that got lost? Wasn't he the kid that got lost in the woods?
Yes, he was in the woods for 5 days, had nothing to eat but pine needles.
Pine needles?
Yep.
Did they have any bad effect on him?
Well, only when he got home, his mother made him a big dish of spaghetti in his stomach, knitted a pair of socks out of it.
Well, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Everybody in that gang, they all amounted to something but except you.
I'm doing all right, Abbott. Only yesterday, MGM called me up and wanted to use me in a screen test, but I turned him down.
You turned down a screen test? Why?
They wanted to throw me against it and see if it was strong.
You couldn't work for anybody. I ought to get rid of you myself and get myself another partner.
Who would work with you?
Oh, I could work with a cow. I could get lots of laughs.
How could you get a lot of laughs with a cow?
You'd be surprised at the things I could pull on her.
Hello, boys.
Hey, look, Costello, it's our secretary, Viola Vaughn.
Oh, I feel so good tonight.
Just a minute, Viola. I object the way you come in here every week and hug and kiss me.
I don't hug and kiss you.
I know. That's what I object to. Viola, you look lovely tonight. That's a beautiful dress you have on.
Do you like it? It's made of jersey.
Looks a little tight around Paterson.
It's supposed to be tight. It's a half and half dress. It's half cocktail and half dinner gown.
Which half are you wearing?
Never mind it. Have you heard from your folks since you've been out here?
Oh, yes. I got a card this morning. They're driving out, and last night they stopped at a little place outside New Orleans called Howe's Bayou.
How's Bayou?
Fine. How's Bayou?
If this keeps up, I'm going to turn my ice machine business.
What'd you say?
If this keeps up, I'm going to turn my ice machine business over to my brother Pat.
Well, pay no attention to Viola. He's just jealous.
I am not.
Well, Mr. Abbott is right, Costello. I can see right through you.
Well, it was a little warm today to wear a slip.
Costello, you're not fooling anybody. Viola's getting wise to you. Last week was her birthday, and you didn't even buy her a present.
Well, I didn't really expect any, Bud. I think Costello's the type that gets cheap around Christmas time.
Just a minute, Viola. That's a nasty thing to say. Costello gets cheap around Christmas time?
Thanks, Abbott.
Costello's just as cheap all the rest of the year.
If the Plasters Union is listening, have Bud Abbott's overalls ready in the morning. Abbott will be back on the job.
Cut it out, Costello. You're just jealous because Viola and I are more popular than you are.
You're popular?
Certainly. Haven't you noticed every week when I come to the broadcast, there's a mob outside that grabs me and asks me for my autograph?
Sure, but Abbott, I'm asking you. Do you think it's worth it?
What do you mean, is it worth it?
Dressing up every Thursday like Dinah Shore.
You see, Viola? He is jealous of our popularity. Go ahead, Viola. Tell him how popular you are.
Well, I don't like to brag, Costello, but I was over at RKO yesterday and walked on a set, and Cary Grant kissed me 3 times.
So what? I was over at MGM yesterday. I bent over to tie my shoe, and Lassie licked my face.
Costello, have you been showing Viola around Hollywood the way you promised?
Sure, I took her to Republic Studios. All the cowboys were there. Didn't we have fun, Viola?
Oh, yes, Costello. It sure was funny when you ran in that dark closet to play post office, and that cowboy shoved his horse in with you.
His horse? This is terrible. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Oh, where am I going? I gotta go over to that corral and get back my fraternity pin. Ladies and gentlemen, Abbott and I heard a young singer in New York several weeks ago, and we liked him very much, and we brought him back to Hollywood to join our show, and here he is, and we hope you like him too, Hal Winters.
I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. Get you and keep you in my arms evermore. Leave all your lovers a-weeping on the faraway shore. Out on the briny with the moon big and shiny, melting your heart of stone. I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. There is no verse to this song, 'cause I don't want to wait a moment too long to say that I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone.
get out of here and stay out of here.
What's the matter, Abbott? Who hit you?
The sound man. I like to fool around with the sound effects. Every time I go over there and touch the stuff, he hits me.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Huh. You can't do that to my partner. Come on. We're going over there and we'll tell him. Now, there's the sound effects department, Abbott. Go ahead. Come on. Fool around with anything you like.
Thanks, pal.
Blow the whistles. Do anything.
Oh, boy, this is fun.
Make a train.
Yeah.
So, you're fooling around with my stuff again, eh?
Ow! Ow! Costello, what the fuck are you doing to me? Ain't you going to say something?
I certainly am.
What?
Abbott, if you don't stop fooling with this guy's stuff, he's going to knock your brains out.
This is all my fault for listening to you. From now on, I'll take care of myself. I can stand up for my rights.
Why don't you stand up for your rights with that guy?
How could I? His lefts kept knocking me down.
Let's go back there, Abbott. Somebody's writing us wrong. Let's go back there, Abbott. I'll take care of you. I'm plenty tough. Here, feel my muscle. Go ahead and feel it.
Muscle. I can't feel anything but a red corpuscle.
Yeah, but ain't it got a hard head?
Who are you kidding? I'm the guy who's got muscle. I used to be a prize fighter. I was one of the cleanest fighters in the ring.
You should have. You should have been. They threw enough water on you. I'm the guy that can fight. I remember the last guy I fought. I hit him so hard that he hollered uncle.
Well, who were you fighting with?
My little 3-year-old nephew, Tony.
I thought so. You can't fight and you can't act. In fact, none of your family has any talent.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
How about my cousin Vincent? He had a great voice, but he could only sing while taking a bath. They used to wheel him out on the stage in a bathtub. He'd sing while taking a bath, but they fired him after his first performance.
Why?
When the people started applauding, he forgot himself and stood up and took a bow.
What is he doing now?
Writing songs. You should hear his new song. He took a little of it from Irving Berlin, a little from Cole Porter, a little from Sigmund Rundberg.
And what did he get?
3 lawsuits.
Forget about your cousin. Wait a minute. What's all that mail doing in your pockets?
Abbott, that's my fan mail.
Mine?
Everybody in the country is talking about my great character, Sam Shovel. Here, I'll read one. Dear Lou Costello, I'm simply crazy about your Sam Shovel detective programs. Last week, as I sat listening to your show, you were so thrilling I froze to my seat. I'm coming over tonight to see you.
There's a guy out here to see you, Costello.
What does he look like?
He's a short man with a frozen seat.
Yeah. Come on, Costello. Let's get on with the show. What is your Sam Shovel case for tonight?
It's one of my smaller cases, Abbott. I call it the case of the sailor who was shot while having Hedy Lamarr and Lana Turner's pictures on his chest, or he died with his buttes on.
Sounds interesting. Let's do it.
Okay.
And now the makers of Crummies, the breakfast food that dares to be different, presents The Adventures of Sam Shovel, Private Detective. But first, a word about our product, Crummies. Crummies is the only breakfast food that comes ready to serve. We put in the sugar, strawberries, milk, and cream right into the package. Look for it on your grocer's shelf in the large, soggy box. And Crummies is fine for the youngsters. You can safely feed Crummies to a 2-year-old. Some of the well-known 2-year-olds that eat Crummies are Citation, Entrust, and Bazooka. Crummies is the only breakfast food that is shot from cannon. So remember, when opening the package, stand back. And friends, mark my words. No cereal is as good as Crummies. You can put that in your pipe and smoke it. In fact, it tastes better if you put it in your pipe and smoke it. And now for the further adventures of Sam Shovel, Private Detective.
Yes, I'm Sam Shovel. Sam Shovel, Private Detective. I don't feel so good today. Last night, my fraternity invited me to a football dinner. That's the last time I'll eat football for dinner. I'm kind of tired, too. I traveled all night. I rode the chief in from Albuquerque. Next time, I'm going to take a train. Riding piggyback on an Indian is murder. I was down there trying to get a conviction on one of my cases, Maxie the murderer. But he had a clever lawyer. I charged him with murder, but the jury whitewashed him. I charged him with larceny, but the jury whitewashed him. Then I took him to a Turkish bath. I had to get all that whitewash off him. My correspondence was piled up a lot while I was away. I see a carbon copy of the letter I sent to Sears and Roebuck for a pair of handcuffs. It reads, send handcuffs. If good, we'll send check. Then I pick up their answer. It reads, send check. If good, we'll send handcuffs. That reminds me I may get called on another case. I think I'll clean my Remington before I put it back in my pocket. Someday I'm going to buy a gun. I get tired carrying a typewriter in my pocket. Suddenly I look up. There on the wall of my office is an oil painting. Bought it last year. It's pretty, but it's a lot of trouble. Every day I got to oil it. I glance across the court. The beautiful stenographer in the insurance office is just coming to work. She's punching the time clock. The clock punched her back. I pick up my morning paper. On the front page is a picture of John L. Lewis. John L. Lewis on the front page. I study his face. I'm trying to figure which eyebrow has the Tony. Looks like another slow day for the detective business. As I sit here in my little office, I'm unhappy. I'm down in the dumps. Whenever I'm in this office, I feel down in the dumps. That's not strange. My office is located at the dumps. Across from my office is a stationery store. There's no sign on it, but I'm sure it's a stationery store. I've been watching it for 2 years. It hasn't moved an inch. I just remember last week my pal, Lieutenant Abbott, invited me to dinner, and I must send his wife a bread and butter note. That's a sloppy job. There's nothing I hate worse than writing on bread and butter. I glance out at the window in the parking lot. They're getting ready to move my car again to let another one out. I hope the owner moves it, not the reckless attendant. Thank goodness the owner moved it. I noticed my pal, Lieutenant Abbott, in the homicide squad coming this way. He's a regular bloodhound. When he's after a crook, he can smell a trail. In fact, he smells any place. One thing about Lieutenant Abbott, he speaks straight from the shoulder. He's got to. That's where his mouth is. Just then, Lieutenant Abbott walks into the office.
Hello, Sam Shovel. Sam, I just had the most sensational lunch. What a meal. I ordered pork chops, bacon, fried ham, pig's knuckles.
When Lieutenant Abbott eats, he goes hog wild.
Well, a cop has got to keep his strength up, Sam. I never know when I'll get in a fight.
Lieutenant Abbott is right. One thing I'll say for him, he never ran away from a fight. He always takes a taxi.
Sam, I'm happy today. I'm feeling pretty chipper. I'm really chipper.
Lieutenant Abbott is not lying. Nobody is chipper than he is. He's the chippest man I ever met. He lives at the Fiddle Hotel. It's a violin. Rooms are $1 a night and up. If you get a room for $1, you're up all night.
Sam, I thought I heard something moving. The sound came from that bureau.
We crossed the office to the bureau and started opening the drawers.
There's nobody here.
You won't find me here.
It's my Bureau of Missing Persons.
Speaking of missing persons, Sam, what happened to that crooked musician you were trailing?
Lieutenant Abbott was referring to Matty Banjo Head Malnick, the leader of one of the crookedest bands in this country.
Sam, how can you say that? Matty's boys are all artists.
They must be artists. I know they're not musicians. Lieutenant, when Matty Banjo Head Malnick heard I was after him, he took it on the lam. That was 3 weeks ago.
Hiya, Sam Shovel.
He's still on that lam.
Sam, you gotta help me. That Bergman gang is trying to shake me down for $10,000, and I'm afraid I'll have to pay through the nose.
Why should you have to pay through the nose?
That's where I keep my money.
What a clever crook that Malnick is. When he needs money, he don't have to blow a safe. He just blows his nose. Just look at it. I'd like to have his nose full of Canadian nickels.
Malnick, you'll have to get out of here. Sam and I are talking business.
I'll go, but first I want to give Sam this batch of cookies I baked for him. Here, Sam, they're your favorite kind, policeman cookies.
Policeman cookies?
Sure, ain't you never heard of cop cakes? So long, copper.
Everybody's got good writers but me. I'm going to have to start paying next week. That Malnick is a very clever boy. He ought to go over to the Eagle Laundry and put his head in with the flat work.
Well, never mind him, Sam. Hey, look who's coming across the street. It's Two-Gun Gertie.
Two-Gun Gertie, the gorgeous gun moll. Once I asked her to marry me, but she refused. She's too class conscious.
Gertie is class conscious?
I ain't got no class, and she's conscious of it. Just as I finished making this clever remark, the door burst open, and Gertie entered my office.
Sam Shovel, my darling. Oh, Sam, you gotta help me.
What's up, Gert?
The cops are after me. They think I'm hiding something. They think I've got it on me.
You may have it on you, but you sure ain't hiding anything.
Careful, Sam. She's up to something.
Oh, Sam, you gotta help me. If you do, I'll be your slave. I'll cook for you. I'll bake for you. I'll sew for you. I'll...
Keep going, Gert. You're bound to hit something I like.
Ah, you're a card, Sam. Come here. I'm gonna let you kiss me.
Sam Shovel, where are your manners? Where are your manners? How dare you kiss this gun moll right before me?
Wait your turn, Lieutenant. I'll kiss you next.
Sam, why don't we start going steady again? We could be so happy. Look out the window, Sam. See those two lovebirds in that tree?
Yes.
Why can't we be like them and do what they're doing?
Okay, but I don't think the branches will hold us.
Sam, this is ridiculous. You're a cop and she's a crook. She's not for you.
Ah, keep out of this, Flatfoot. I'll prove to Sam that I'm the girl for him. I'll give him a kiss that'll bust the buttons off his vest.
That I'd like to see.
Come here, Sam.
Sam. Sam Shovel, say something.
Has any lady in the audience got a needle and a thread?
Well, Costello, we're a little late, so you better say thanks to this lovely audience in the studio and to all the swell people who are listening in at home.
Thanks for listening, folks. And I would like to thank the people that help us bring you this show every Thursday night. Our writing staff is headed by Eddie Foreman with Paul Conlon, Pat Costello, Martin Ragaway, and Leonard Stern.
And thanks to Matty Malnick and all his boys and our vocalist, Hal Winters.
And thanks also to our producer, Charles Vander. We'll be back again at the same time next Thursday.
Good night, folks.
Good night to everybody in Patterson. Good night.
Listen each Thursday night at this time for another great Abbott and Costello show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood. Be sure to stay tuned for the outstanding entertainment which follows throughout the evening on this ABC station.
time is it?
It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air for ABC here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
Yes, it's the Abbott and Costello Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood for your listening and laughing pleasure with chuckles with a carload and music by Matty Malnick. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
All right, Costello. All right, Costello.
Like I've never loved
Wait a minute.
before.
What's the idea of coming in here singing?
I'm going to sing on a program tonight.
What do you know about music? You wouldn't know a bass from a soprano.
Is that so? You wouldn't see me sliding in a second soprano, would you? And besides, my new girl wants me to sing on the program.
You've got a new girl?
Yes, every night she knocks on my door, throws her arms around me, hugs and kisses me, and calls me Gregory Peck.
She calls you Gregory Peck?
Gregory Peck.
Why don't you tell her you're not Gregory Peck?
Silly boy.
What does this girl do, Lou?
She's a striptease dancer at the burlesque show. I wait for her every night outside the stage door.
Does she meet you?
No, but she waves to me from the patrol wagon as it goes by.
Sense. I used to chase girls like you, and I never got anywhere. And one day I decided life wasn't worth living. I tried to shoot myself, and somebody stopped me. I tried to hang myself, and somebody stopped me.
Too bad.
I tried to drown myself, and somebody stopped me.
Some people never know when to mind their own business.
Well, all I have to say to you, Costello, is adios.
Adios.
Yes, that's goodbye in Spanish.
Well, Los Angeles traffic.
Los Angeles traffic.
That's goodbye in any language.
Hey, wait a minute, boys. Here's a serious-looking fella trying to get a word in edgewise. Let's see what he has to say.
All right. What are you hollering about this time?
I've been chosen a man of distinction by the Boy Scouts of America. And my picture is going to be in all the magazines.
What picture?
There it is. It's a picture of me leaning up against my scoutmaster, drinking a glass of buttermilk.
You must be pretty popular with your Boy Scout troop.
Yes, sir. I'm the only Boy Scout in California that's got a hot rod.
Yeah, you don't even know what a hot rod is.
Oh, yes, I do. A hot rod is a jalopy that smokes Mexican cigarettes.
You idiot. You running around with a bunch of kids at your age? There must be something wrong with you. What's the matter with you anyway?
Can't figure it out, Abbott. I sleep good at night. I sleep good in the morning. But during the day, I just seem to twist and turn.
No wonder nobody will associate with you. You haven't got a friend in the world.
How can you say that, Abbott? I'm the most popular guy in my hometown. Every one of the 300,000 people in Patterson, New Jersey love me.
Wait a minute, Costello. 300,000. Patterson only has 140,000 people.
When were you there last?
2 years ago.
Well, people have children, you know.
You please talk sense. What's that roll of paper you've got in your pocket?
That's my Christmas shopping list, and you're right on the top.
Oh, say, that's wonderful. What are you going to get me, Lou?
I'm going to get you a handful of nickels and dimes and put them in your mouth.
What do you want to give me a handful of nickels and dimes to put in my mouth?
I'd like to hear some change in your conversation.
Never mind. Who else is on your list?
Well, there's my Uncle Mike. I don't know what to get him. Last year I got him a smoking jacket.
Did he like it?
Oh, sure. Christmas morning he stuffed it into his pipe.
Didn't it burn?
Yeah, but not as good as tobacco. I think I'll get my Aunt May one of those old man river girdles.
What's an old man river girdle?
It helps you tote that barge and lift that bale. I'll either get that or I'll get a book, a volume by O. Henry.
Oh, a volume?
Yeah.
Oh, Henry only wrote short stories.
How much can you write on a wrapper off a candy bar?
What is Uncle Mike going to get Aunt May, Lou?
I don't know. Last year he gave her a fur piece. He shot it under the house. Had a white stripe down its back.
That was a skunk.
Huh?
That was a skunk. Why'd Uncle Mike shoot it?
After he shot it, he asked himself the same question.
Well, now, wait a minute now. After all, skunk is pretty expensive. If your Uncle Mike had to buy it, he would have had to sell his house to pay for it.
After he shot it, he had to sell the house anyway.
My wife wants a mink coat for Christmas, but mink skins cost $40 apiece.
Why don't you just buy her one skin and a sock stretcher?
Costello, that's ridiculous. My wife's one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood. Every time I look at her, she reminds me of Jane Russell.
Me too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What makes her remind you of Jane Russell?
She's got legs like Bob Waterfield.
When my wife puts on an evening gown, she looks like she was poured in it.
You're right, Abbott. She looks like she was poured in it and forgot to say when.
Is that so? My wife was a picture star a few years ago, you know. Her last picture was the Great Forest Fire. She was the siren.
I saw that picture. She nearly fell off the truck 3 times.
Costello, my wife is one of the most popular girls in this town. Why, I only won her on account of my great romantic ability.
You've got romantic ability?
Certainly. When I put my arms around a girl and kiss her, her eyes close and she faints dead away.
Yeah, but I used to be able to do the same thing, only lately garlic doesn't agree with me.
Tell me, Costello, how's your romance coming with that rich girl from Pasadena?
She wasn't serious, Abbott. I found out it was nothing but puppy love on her part.
When did she break the engagement?
When she found out I wasn't a puppy.
You should have hung on to her, Costello. Her family were very wealthy. Their home has 20 bathrooms.
Their home has 20 bathrooms?
That's right.
No wonder they call them the filthy rich. You know, she was a nice girl, Abbott, but there was only one thing wrong with her. She had $1 million smile.
Well, what's wrong with that?
She'd only smile at guys that had $1 million.
Well, now that you've broken off with her, why don't you make a play for my younger sister, Babe?
Your sister, Babe?
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me she's out here in California now.
Sure, she's always wanted to come out here to the West where men are men and women are women.
Yes, out here in the West where men are men and women are women. And now your sister, Babe, has to come out here and confuse the whole thing.
Costello, my sister Babe may be fat, but remember, she's a slick chick.
She's slick, all right. The last time I had a date with her, I'd been over to kiss her goodnight, and her hair slid off.
Are you trying to insinuate that my sister Babe is bald?
I wouldn't say that, Abbott. She's got one of those new, sunny, tufted hairdos.
Sunny, tough hairdos?
Yeah, it's sunny down the middle, and there's a tuft on each side.
Costello.
Now it's Abbott's nephew, folks. Now what do you want, Norman?
Well, I'm on the committee for the Rose Bowl parade, and we want you to ride on one of those big rose-covered floats on New Year's Day.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, but I've got to tell you something. There's one restriction. You can't tell any of the jokes you tell on the radio while you're riding on the float.
And why not?
We want the people to smell the roses.
That did it. I can't stand this any longer. Every week the same thing.
Oh, now wait a minute,
and
Costello.
he gets money for it.
What are you going to do?
Huh?
What are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Norman, this studio isn't big enough for the two of us. Now, here, you take this gun and I'll take this gun. And we'll shoot at each other until one of us is dead.
Okay. You want to bet a quarter I win?
Bet a quarter? What for?
I just thought you might want to make it exciting.
Look, Roy, why don't you go over to the Raleigh cigarette program and have your head moisturized?
Wait a minute.
Now, get out of here. Hey, Abbott, why don't you get that guy a job and keep him out of here?
He just comes in here for laughs. He's got a job. He's a salesman.
Are you kidding? That guy couldn't sell anything.
Right now, he's working in the drugstore, and they're having a 1-cent sale.
What's he selling?
Pennies.
Pennies? Cucamonga 32, Pomona 31, San Fernando above 32, Riverside 28.
Wait a minute, Costello. What are you doing?
Figured as long as I ain't getting any laughs, I just might as well read the frost warnings.
That's no attitude to take. After all, Costello, this is Christmas time. Don't you feel the spirit of Christmas?
Yes, I guess you're right, Abbott. I feel like helping everybody. I've got nothing but good in my heart. See that old man over there? The one with the beard and the patches on his pants?
Yes.
I'll show you I got the spirit of Christmas. I'm going over there and help that old man out.
That's the spirit, Costello.
Hiya, buddy. Could I talk to you for a minute?
Oh, what do you want?
Well, I don't want to be forward, and this being Christmas, I'm Lou Costello, the actor. I thought that maybe you'd, sort of, well...
Well, here's a dime. Get lost.
Santa Paula 32, Ventura 29, Santa Ana 30.
Hello, boys.
Hey, look, Costello, it's our secretary, Viola Vaughn.
Hey.
I called you last night, Viola, and you weren't home.
No, I was over at Costello's house practicing love scenes with him.
You were practicing love scenes with Costello?
Uh-huh.
He's so short he doesn't even come up to your shoulders. How can he make love to you?
Well, I stand him on a box, put my arms around him tight, kick the box out from under him, and I've got him trapped.
Ojai 29, Tipton above 32, La Hala 31. Well, I'll leave you two. Cheerio, so long, Pip Pip and Hetty Lamar.
Pip Pip and Hetty Lamar.
Yeah, that's 3 pips.
Hey, where are you going, Costello?
I gotta go home now and take care of my brother Pat. He's in that awkward age,
Awkward age?
Yeah, he's too young to leave home alone and too old to trust but babysitters.
Why waste your time with your brother, Pat? Why don't you take Viola to the movies?
Oh, no. I'm not going to go to the movies with Costello after what happened the last time.
What happened?
Viola and I were holding hands, but we had to let go because we were tripping too many people.
You were tripping people?
Yeah, she was sitting across the aisle from me.
Now, do you see why I won't go to the movies with him?
You don't have to go with me, Viola. I can get plenty of girls. Only tonight coming down here, Ann Sheridan says, "Hiya, Lou."
When did you ever meet Ann Sheridan?
I've seen her so many times on a screen, she thinks she knows me.
Are you kidding? You don't know anybody in pictures.
I don't, Here comes Alan Ladd. I'll show you who my pals are. Hi, Alan.
Hiya, Mac.
Mac? Mac? I thought he was your pal.
He's a little...
Why did he call you Mac?
He's a little nearsighted. He thought I was Fred McMurray.
Well, so long, Costello. And remember, if you want to, you can come over to my house tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Costello, that was nice of Viola to invite you over for dinner.
Yes, but I ain't going to go to her house anymore for dinner. She's too wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy?
Yes, every time we get through with dinner, she always says, "I wishy you'd washy the dishes."
Get him out of here!
Yeah, I hate to break it up, man, but it's time to change the subject for just about 60 seconds.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's our new singer, Hal Winters. Let's give Hal a nice big hand.
Nice big hand for Hal Winters.
follows me about. The same old pounding in my heart whenever I think of you. And darling, I think of you day in and day out. Day out, day in. I needn't tell you how my day begins. When I awaken with a tingle. One possibility in view, that possibility of maybe seeing you. Come rain, come shine, I meet you and to me the day is fine. Then I speak your name and that pounding becomes the ocean's roar, 1,000 drums. Can't you see it's love? Can there be any doubt? When there it is, day in, day out. Then I speak your name, and that pounding becomes the ocean's roar, 1,000 drums. Can't you see it's love? Can there be any doubt? When there it is, day in, day out.
Costello, put down that water pitcher. Put down that water pitcher. What are you doing?
I put it down.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm drinking water. Doctor told me to drink water an hour before I eat, and I don't like it.
Why not?
I've been drinking for 20 minutes. If I take another swallow, I'll bust.
What doctor did you go to?
My cousin, he's a doctor. Dr. Vincent Varello.
Is he a good doctor?
Good. He's the greatest doctor in Cucamonga, the most skillful doctor in Cucamonga. There's no better doctor in Cucamonga.
What makes you so sure?
He's the only doctor in Cucamonga.
I mean, why do you go all the way to Cucamonga? There's a doctor right in your block.
Yeah, but he's a baby doctor. I ain't got no confidence in him.
Why not?
Very few babies make good doctors.
Forget about it. Have you heard any more from our sponsors about how they like your Sam Shovel detective stories?
Indeed, I have. Here's a letter from one of them that came this morning. I'll read it. Dear Louis Costello, since I heard you were going to continue your Sam Shovel detective series, I have decided to take the old picture off our bottles and replace it with your picture. For as long as you do your Sam Shovel series, every bottle of our product will have your picture on the label.
What product do they make?
Iodine.
I thought so. What is your Sam Shovel detective mystery for tonight, Costello?
It's one of my minor cases, Abbott. I call it the case of the babysitter who was fired because he neglected his work, or it was time for a change.
Well, let's get on with the case.
And now, the makers of Pismo Cocoa, the cocoa that won't keep you awake unless you drink it, present your favorite radio mystery, Sam Shovel, Private Detective. But first, a word about our product. Friends, when you drink cocoa before you go to bed, do you toss and turn? Try a cup of Pismo Cocoa tonight. No more tossing, no more turning. You'll just lie there, dead. Pismo Cocoa comes in the regular style for those who make it in a pot. It also comes vacuum packed for those who make it in a vacuum cleaner. Drink Pismo Cocoa and know when you drink Pismo Cocoa what a good cup tastes like. Say, compared to the cocoa, the cup will taste wonderful. And now let's listen to what people all over the country are saying about Pismo Cocoa.
That's cocoa.
That's cocoa.
That's cocoa.
That's cocoa.
Friends, we're proud of Pismo Cocoa. Remember this, during the war, Pismo Cocoa was chosen by our armies as the cocoa they served overseas. They served it to the Japs. And now Pismo Cocoa brings you the further adventures of Sam Shovel, Private Detective.
Yes, I'm Sam Shovel, Private Detective. I've had a tough day. I'm sitting here in my little office dozing
I'm sleepy. Suddenly I see a Dunhill, a K. Woody, a corncob, a briar. I'm having pipe dreams. The telephone company was here this morning and put in a phone. I look at my new phone number, Elephant 6688. Must be on a trunk line. I just finished listening to my favorite radio, giveaway show. It's the only real giveaway show on the air. If you guess the answer, they give away the show. I see the mailman's shadow on the window of my office door. He's bringing my mail. He delivers the mail the hard way. The hard way. He crawls through the mail slot and drags the mail in after him. I notice my new map has arrived in the mail. It's got the boundaries of all the states marked on it. I study the map. There's the Ohio state line. There's the Indiana line. There's... Yo! That must be the Mason-Dixon line. I love the South. I'll never forget how I trailed Shotgun Jake through the South. He thought he was a smart guy, but I fixed his wagon. I grabbed him in Atlanta and fixed his wagon. In Chattanooga, I fixed his wagon. In Birmingham, I fixed his wagon. I made a lot of money on that case. He gave me $5 every time I fixed his wagon. Here's a letter from a crook in Switzerland. He's imprisoned at the Yodel Yodel. That's Swiss for Sing Sing. I decide to read the rest of my mail. Here's a letter I don't understand. Dear Sam Shovel, we're sick of you butting into our business. If the Varela gang don't kill you, we'll kill you. Signed, the Merry Gang. P.S. If you're already dead, please disregard this note. That sounds like a threatening letter. I better make sure I'm armed. I open the drawer of my desk to check on my gun. It's a Colt. Here's a postcard from my bookmaker. He wants me to send him $1 for a football pool. I don't think I'll do it. It's a waste of time building a pool for a football. It's about time for my pal, Lieutenant Abbott of the Homicide Squad, to show up. Abbott is a fine cop. Abbott, the chief wants to put him on the headquarters squad. No wonder. Abbott is the only cop in the force that's got a head the size of a quarter. I've hung out with Lieutenant Abbott so much we've become known as sidekicks. It's not because we're so friendly. It's just that every time we meet, we kick each other in the side. Suddenly, I hear footsteps outside my door.
Hello, Sam Shovel.
Glad you showed up, Lieutenant Abbott. How about paying me the $5 you owe me?
When April showers, they come my way.
Every time I ask for money, he gives me a song and dance. Where have you been, Lieutenant Abbott?
I just arrested a guy for changing a tire.
You can't arrest a man for changing a tire.
From my car to his.
Car? Lieutenant Abbott also changed that joke from my punchline to his punchline.
Sam, this office is filthy. Why don't you get some cleaning equipment and clean up the dirt?
I've got plenty of cleaning equipment. I got vacuum cleaners, mops, brooms, and scrubbing brushes.
Why don't you use them?
Can't find them. They're under the dirt.
You're a disgrace to the detective business. What an office. It's ankle deep in dirt. Why don't you open a window?
The only window in the place is in my kitchenette.
Well, open it.
What, and let the sun come in and kill my mushroom beds? As I said this, I heard a creepy sound in the hall outside. I turned and looked. Lieutenant Abbott and I said, quick, somebody's coming. Hide behind that marble slab.
Sam. Sam, you were right. There's someone at the door.
The door slowly opened. Get it open while I'm still young enough to read the next line. Standing in the doorway was the most gorgeous girl I've ever seen. She spoke.
Oh, Monsieur Sam Chauvel, I have heard that you are a great detective, no?
That I am. I looked at this lovely creature. She was wearing a low-cut evening gown.
Sam Chauvel, will you help me out?
Lady, don't you think you're out far enough already?
Sam Chauvel, who is your so charming friend?
This is Lieutenant Abbott of the Homicide Squad.
Ah, the famous brave Lieutenant Abbott. Lieutenant, I am in great danger. You can help me, n'est-ce pas?
Mais oui, mademoiselle.
Oh, chérie, que vous êtes le plus bel homme du monde.
Oh, I don't think I could do that.
Oh, mais je crois que vous êtes un méchant garçon.
I couldn't do that.
Oh, mais vous n'avez pas besoin d'être si insolente avec moi.
I couldn't do that.
What's she saying, Abbott? Maybe I could.
Oh, Sam Chauvel, you are so brave. The terrible Count Boris is after me. Tell me, what would you do if you were in my shoes?
I'd probably fall flat on my puss.
Countess, you shouldn't drag Sam Shovel into this case.
Here we go again.
Count Boris is a vicious man. He might kill Sam. Besides, you have no money to pay the fee.
Oh, it is true I have no money, but Sam, I can pay you with kisses.
Kisses are not legal tender.
They may not be legal, but I'll bet they're tender.
Sam, you are so wonderful. I'm going to give you a kiss that will melt your heart.
Sam, say something.
Does anybody want to buy 10 cents worth of liquid hot?
Oh, Sam, it is Count Boris. He's looking for me. He is always seeking me. For 5 years I've been hiding from him. Quick, Sam, where can I hide?
Here, hide under the desk.
Where is she? Where is she? I know she's here. I've been looking for her for 5 years. Aha! There you are under the desk, huh? Come out, Countess Borden. I have found you, and you know what that means.
What are you going to do to her, Count Boris?
Nothing. Only now it's my turn to hide. She's got to find me.
Get him out of here, will you?
Abbott and Costello will have the last word as usual. But before they do, we'd like you to ponder this.
We say good night, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say that the part of Sam Shovel in tonight's show was played by Luke Costello. And I, Bud Abbott, do not necessarily agree with anything he says.
Thank you, Abbott. And I want to say that the part of Lieutenant Abbott of the Homicide Squad is played by Bud Abbott. And if there is any resemblance between Abbott and any living person, there would be better off dead.
Thank you. And now let's give a bow to our orchestra leader, Matty Malnick, and to our singer, Hal Winters.
And I'd like to give credit to our writing staff, which is headed by Lee Foreman with Paul Collin, Pat Costello, Martin Ragaway, and Leonard Stern.
And let's not forget our capable producer, Charles Vander.
And let's not forget to say good night.
Good night, folks.
Good night to everybody in Patterson. Good night.
Listen each Thursday night at this time for another great Abbott and Costello show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood. Be sure to stay tuned for the outstanding entertainment which follows throughout the evening on this ABC station.
Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe.